Today we're going to talk a little bit about history. I was just thinking about my travels. I've been to Egypt and I've been to Greece. The modern countries don't resemble the ancient foundations much at all. There's a lot of misinformation, disinformation, and just outright nonsense being told about that culture. And in a way we can call it a civilization, a separate civilization, but it is a major influence on the civilization of today. A lot of things are misunderstood about Egypt because of the people that are handling it as a profession now and as a tourist industry find it convenient to peddle their lies, partial truths. Egypt began a long time ago. I don't even know how long. Nobody really knows.
It may have been about 6,000 years ago, 8,000, 10,000, maybe up to 15,000 years ago. Even as far as 20,000 years before today.
So take your pick. Anywhere from 6,000 to 20-something thousand years ago. Now that's not saying much. That's such a wide variation that it shows we really have lost track of prehistory. And in fact, that's why it is called prehistory. Prehistory is that period that is shrouded in mystery. But I think that Egypt is founded upon the knowledge of Atlantis. Now that truly was another civilization from long, long ago. It even was another landmass which subsided. It broke apart through a series of cataclysms, from earthquakes to floods to supernatural storms. The reason why I say supernatural is because the catastrophe wasn't just a part of the natural cycle. It was a result of the technology they were using. Now that's a pretty major point if you grasp that. The fact that a civilization can use a technology and then it gets out of hand because of their misuse or abuse of it. And then these energies and forces will go into the environment and gather up steam and have a momentum and then some kind of effect of their own, basically to stabilize a planetary scale. What kind of technology? Well, it's said that the Atlanteans had a way to harness energy by using crystals. They were very knowledgeable, very industrious about this. They even had the equivalent of nuclear weapons by using crystal. Now, whether or not you believe this shows your level of arrogance and your level of ignorance. A seed culture came from that. Some remnant, or maybe not remaining, maybe just before the demise of Atlantis, they had already known and they were already going about the project. Transportation of a colony that was sprouted from the original Atlantis, and they went to the continent of Africa with some major differences to the shape of the continent and the mountain ranges. Obviously, what's now the Sahara Desert was a different region. It had water at that time. So you go into that region and there is some kind of a culture there, which is to become what we know of as the ancient Egypt, first dynasty.
Can you stop that baby from screaming, please? It's not singing, it sounds
like a primitive Egyptian before the first dynasty.
I'm going to have to continue this later, but thanks for listening. I didn't even get a chance to compare ancient Egypt to ancient Greece, but I'll try to get back to that. Looking forward to your feedback.
But feel free to create a discussion by making comments.